What's going on, guys? Going to do a little live here. I know some of you will catch it live and some of you will catch it on the replay. That's why I don't want to have the awkward silence. But in this live, what I'm going to be doing is talking about why I encourage training just 3 to 4 times a week, strength training, that is. And a lot of people may not agree with that, but I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a history dating back to teenage years and, of course, current day training, closing in on age 46. So good to see a lot of people popping in. I'm just going to wait maybe 30 seconds, get a few more people rolling through here. And, of course, I will do some Q&A if questions pop up. What's up, Maddie Wichlinski? Love that dude. Martin Snow, the best. Martin, what's kind of scary is we've met close to 20 years ago. So I don't know how old you are, but in 20 years, I'm 65. I'll be meeting you at a diner in New York City getting that senior citizen special. But I'll still be banging in weights. That's it. All right, guys. So I've done a lot of different training programs. You can see the books in the back. There's books everywhere. The camera is perched up on an old Arnold photo. So it goes to show, I'm even, a believer of the volume training, and even got books, dating back well over 100 years ago. And so I've got a wide range of knowledge and information. And I remember my biggest breakthrough in training was after I stopped competing in bodybuilding. I was planning to continue to compete, but I remember I had been training with a buddy of mine who was chemically enhanced. Coach Gaddis, JFK, what's up? Yes, October 10th is going to be Family Day for the NHSSCA, New Jersey, at my underground strength gym. Best clean is 275 as a power clean, not a full clean. And I think I did that in like my late 30s. I didn't start learning the Olympic lifts until my mid-30s, having Travis Mash at my gym. So going back to those days, had a training partner. When we began training for our bodybuilding show, I remember we were training Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We did something like shoulders and arms on Monday, legs on Wednesday, chest back on Friday. The workouts were they took quite a while. I recall these training sessions taking 2 hours, 90 minutes. Those were the days of being young and not having to worry about a lot of responsibilities. As the bodybuilding show and preparation progressed, little tongue twister there, our training moved into a 4-day split, which was a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And I think we did like chest buys day 1, legs day 2, Wednesday was off, shoulders, triceps day 3, back day 4, the weekend off. And then 2 months out, we just went 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off, and kept going through the training. After that bodybuilding show, I trained so crazy. My intensity was just, it was nuts. If YouTube would have existed and I could have recorded that, it would have been crazy. My boy Jake Jor saying, dungeon style, no responsibilities, get huge. And by the way, I have Jake Jor's book on hypertrophy clusters. He's awesome. I also have his books on patella tendon, knee pain, and so he's a great resource. And just that being said, I want to really quickly say, I never tell people I'm the end-all, be-all, final answer. I got no time for people who think that they are like that. Even at my certification, I'm constantly dropping resources, mentioning other coaches, other certifications, because I believe I'm a piece of the puzzle. And my philosophy is always a white belt, always learning. And how can I encourage people to always learn if I think I'm the first and last stop? So after the bodybuilding show, I remember I started experimenting with just training every other day. And then I would take 2 days off after a lower body training session. And what inspired that was, number one, how I felt. I always remembered on the second consecutive day of training, I felt slightly less. Even if it was 2 or 5% less, I still felt slightly less energized. I needed a little more oomph to get going, and that resonated with me. And then Flex Magazine showed this photo of Dorian Yates, or several black and white photos from 1 year to the next, and how he went really minimalist on his volume, and of course went the high intensity route. Mike Mentzer was consulting with him. And so those photos inspired the hell out of me. Even though I knew Dorian was on steroids and growth hormone and whatever else a racehorse would be on. But it inspired me to take my recovery to a new level and make every single training session count. And so I would train every other day and 2 days off after leg day. And on leg day, I only squatted every other lower body session, meaning the main lift on one lower body workout would be squats. The next time it would be heavy leg press or heavy hack squats. Okay, and so my legs were pretty strong. So in my late teens and early 20s, I was squatting 405, 455, 495, El Natural. And so as my schedule and life evolved from being busy with full-time work, graduate school, coaching, then getting married, having kids, although last week I did train Monday through Friday, my training sessions were about 30 minutes. Today marked my third day of training in a row, but this day was a GPP session and it was about 35 minutes. But I feel that when you start piling up the volume and the frequency of training, people start to coast. They start to say, well, you know what? I'll just leave early today. I'm coming back tomorrow. And I even had this conversation on the recent Strong Life podcast with Ryan Mickler, talking about how I want to sign up and get trained up on using my gun, pick up a bow so I could start shooting in my gym. And I said, I just want to shoot every night at the end of a night of coaching, 10 minutes. And he goes, you probably don't even need every night. He goes, sometimes you get too overzealous. You do something every day and it's like you hit a wall. So you just need to schedule something twice a week, maybe 3 days a week. Somebody commented and said, what about once a week? I have trained once a week before. Marty Gallagher trains a group of guys who lift once a week on Sundays. They do a squat, bench, deadlift, and then when they're done, maybe they overhead press, maybe they do some curls. But you can get tremendous results by going on a minimalist program. But on the flip side of that, so for example, forget the flip side. My online program is called Gladiator Strong. It's on Train Heroic. If you need a link, it's in the bio. We train 3 days a week. Sometimes I plug in an extra fourth day. And that fourth day is nothing crazy. It might just be a 20-minute jog. It might be like aerobic based. It might be some calisthenics and then mobility and stretching at the end. It's not a high intensity day. It's definitely what I would identify it as a low intensity day. If something was moderate intensity, I would just segment it and put it over in high intensity. But I found that the 3 days a week training, it's interesting. People always want to do more and more. It interferes and negates longevity. You start to beat up the body. And I'm talking about men, women, especially men who are busy, have families, have full-time jobs that require commuting, and you have all these things that start kind of taking away from available time. You know, I like what Marty Gallagher says. He goes, lift and live. Like, just let me lift and let me live and do it quickly. Get in and get out. Today's training session for me was sleds and farmer walks for 5 rounds. I also incorporated some mace club training, and then I did some grip specific work at the end. Okay, we've got a question here. I'm not sure what that is. I thought it was a question. It's not a question. If you have questions, feel free to drop them below. So that being said, guys, I feel that if you're a natural lifter, not on any hormone replacement, you're just eating clean, trying to sleep 8 hours a night, you're training on the basics the way I encourage, you lift 3 days a week. The way I like to do it most often is a lower body focus, an upper body focus, and then a full body focus. But there are certainly times where I go and take a 2 to 3 week mini cycle and just do full body workouts. And if I think of some of the early day bodybuilders like Steve Reeves, he did full body training 3 days a week. Then the volume started to pick up as guys like Reg Park started coming into the scene. Of course, the golden era guys from the 70s, Arnold brought in a lot of that high volume training as a way of like conditioning. But you got to remember, those guys were not natural. Most of those top golden era bodybuilders did not have jobs. You know, their jobs were through Joe Weider, where they were creating, you know, these these pamphlets and workout pamphlets so that they could make money through Joe. And so Joe made money off of them. They didn't really have stress in their life. And so if I'm going back to teenage years, even up till now, yes, last week I trained 5 days a week, but my workouts are shorter. They're get in, get out, and they're intense. And I think if you want to go beyond 3 or 4 days of lifting, those days should be exercise/activity days. They should be days of you going out and doing these walks like Mark Smelly Bell encourages. Do some jog, walk, interval work, any kind of activity that gets the heart pumping. So that's what I got for you guys. If you like that kind of optimal training, which I believe is the way to go. Otherwise, you're going to beat up your body and you're going to take away from life. You are. It's good to have days off. It gives you an emotional excitement to come back for the next training session because you said, man, I had a day off yesterday. I got to earn it tomorrow. I got to make it happen. And the athletes inside of the Gladiator Strong program on Train Heroic, they're crushing it. People are loving it. We've got a lot of adult men in there. Okay. Here's a good question by Simon. Is your wife into training? Mine is not at all, so it would be good to see her read any comparisons. My wife likes to go running. She doesn't really like to spend time in a gym. She likes to do things outdoors, outside. And so, she, you know, if I showed you the work she does on the house, it's amazing. She needs her own TV show. She built a outdoor shower because we live by the beach. So now the kids could shower outside instead of bringing the sand in. Our deck has been renovated from my wife. It's amazing. And I think, you know, there's a good to it. And also it's good either way, you know, time for yourselves and, you know, time to do stuff that people enjoy. Okay. All right, guys. Any other questions? The knee rehab is going well. Thank you, Ollie Martin. I posted a video a few days. I think I squatted Monday or Tuesday. I did Anderson squats. So squats from the bottom. Feeling good. I was planning on hitting hill sprints today. Schedule got crazy and I got my GPP workout in. That video of my workout was just posted on YouTube. Reese Brenner says, Gladiator training is awesome, Coach. My fiance has noticed the huge difference from the beginning of the year. There you have it, kids. Boom. We're crushing it in that program. Just go over to link in bio. It starts with a 7-day free intro, so you could cancel it anytime. I'll take another question, guys. It's 5:30, and then I'm going to shut it down. See if we could get one more question here. Squatting ass to grass. What's up, Amit? Yeah, man, if your mobility and hip mobility, knee and ankle mobility allow it, you can do it. I mean, I don't think there's been research on is this bad or good. Of course, what kind of ethical research would that be, right? Making people squat all the way down, making them not squat all the way down. It depends. I am unable to do that right now, although today I didn't post it on my YouTube. After I was done training and did grip work, I did Hindu squats. They're not as good as what they once were, but I'm starting to open up and get that range of motion to the knee. And I don't know how many reps I did. I think I probably did something like 40 reps. And I was thinking of them because of Carl Gotch. I was doing the Mace training today, the club. And so I was like, you know what? Let me get some of this physical culture training going. So if you could do it, do it. I've also got a slant board, so I'll do goblet squats or bodyweight squats, getting pretty low, below parallel with that. So I really think the key is, does it feel good? Okay, you can move into that range of motion. Does it hurt? That's a warning sign that you have to address something. And then you look at, why does it hurt? Are my hips too tight? Is my T-spine too tight? My back too tight, forcing me to hunch over when I get low? Are my ankles locked up? So just do a little bit of identifying why something is the way it is and work to correct it. All right? One more question, guys. One more. I feel pretty good. I had a good session today. I had great training this week. Great training this week. All right, looks like that's everything for the questions. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Hit the link in the bio. You have a link for getting a free training course. That's the bodyweight intro course and also the freak strength course. You could use those courses, guys, and get powerful results. You don't even need to buy somebody else's bull crap. I prove it to you through the free stuff and also the 7-day free intro. Future goals for me is to lose weight. So I think I'm about 222, something like that. I want to get to 200 pounds, but that's going to take some serious organization of food and discipline. And and I'll be honest with you, like ever since I got done bodybuilding, I am not inspired by six-pack abs. I'm not inspired by being ripped. I've always been more inspired by that pre-golden era look. Those guys of the silver era kind of had that tough, thick, rugged physique. I've always been inspired by that. They had abs, but they weren't shredded. But I think for health, it will be important for me now. I'm in my mid-40s to not really worry about getting so big and lean out a little bit. So that's it, guys. Have a great day. Hit the link in the bio, and thanks for watching.